A few months back, I didn't understand when a friend brought up the term POC in a conversation with me. A few months back, I didn't know what she meant, but I nodded my head and continued along. I'd, of course, much rather maintain a woke mentality than claim my social fallacy, because the first thing I thought of when I heard POC was POW, prisoner of war. But I thought, nah, that couldn't be right. That's a remnant for the history text. It's a tactic of times we much rather forget. They say we're past those events, we should leave that to rest, but I'm not quite sure we're done with that history yet. See, POC, as I gradually came to understand, stands for person of color, originally referring exclusively to those of a black complexion, but eventually expanding to include the full non-white spectrum, and is usually indicative of discussions of diversity or a benchmark of social lectures at universities. But beyond a talking point, POCs are modernized POWs. Not necessarily physically imprisoned, but shackled by other people's ignorance of what the roles should and shouldn't be. You see, I am more than my color, but it tends to be the footprint that leaves the first impression as people walk through who they think I am in their first 10 seconds. I feel like a prisoner in my skin. A felon in my melanin who, despite what you may think, is actually quite eloquent, because that's the game we have to play. Every second of every day, a never-ending underdog story, a dogfight in every interview, an exchange, like the last leg of a world tournament. And while POWs are captured in the wars they wage, POCs are simply born in it. But we learn from an early age how to thicken our skin, even downwind from the draft. We are still world weary as we navigate a social stratosphere battlefield of microaggressions and fragile egos. We learn to withstand the cannibals, but that doesn't make it any more palatable, this philosophy of a limited capacity for us, for places of privilege for people of color, and how there's only so much room at the top, so we have to adopt an us versus them mindset if we're ever going to weather this treacherous social climate. But I don't mean, you might be thinking at this point, whoa, hold up. I think you're over-exaggerating this plight. This isn't the 1940s. We're not tagging the off-whites. We're not busting in people's doors and attacking them on site. We're not scanning passenger cabins for them and dragging them off flights. We're active in our fight. At least that's what you keep telling yourself, deaf to an undocumented population next door that's yelling for your help. But I don't mean... Well, actually, what you might mean is, hold up, wait, that is actually the violence of a tyrant. That was never our intention or aim, but I call BS on that claim, and that you're masking your passiveness passive and your potential for change. But you might be saying at this point, wait, and I might be saying, hold on, because I'm not trying to soil my sentiment with venomous rhetoric or overly colorful language. I'm just trying to get my message across in a way that will get you to listen, to reconsider the misconceptions you were made to believe about the scarcity of place for diversity or space of certainty for racial disparity, and try to get you to believe in what I am saying, because you see, we are not trying to make enemies. I'm not trying to make enemies. I'm just trying to create empathy. I'm not trying to fight you, but invite you to the conversation about the status quo's change and flow, and how if we're ever going to change the sentence of oppression in POCs, we need to change our sentences, direction, and the change we seek. So send a letter to your senator. Hit up the POB. Spread your voice on social media. Make your feed POP, because whether you were a POW and or now are a POC, the most important thing of all is to share that POV. Thank you.